Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about gravitational field. So what is gravitational field? But before we talk about gravitational field, what is field in physics? So in physics, field simply means a region of space where something can be felt. So any region of space where something can be felt can be considered to be a field. But today we would like to discuss mainly on gravitational fields. We have several fields. We have electrostatic fields. We have magnetic fields. But our primary focus today would be on gravitational fields. So, like the word gravitation, you should already know what it implies. We mean gravity. So this is a region where gravitational force can be felt. When we have two bodies in space, what force can be felt between those two bodies? Two or more bodies, in fact. So Newton came up with a law that describes or tells us about the relationship between two bodies and the forces or the force that the two bodies would exert on each other. Newton said the force would be directly proportional to the product of the mass and inversely proportional to the square of the distance separating them. Since this is a variation sign, we know we have to introduce a constant, g. So F is equal to g m1 m2 over r squared. What this simply means is that when we have two bodies of mass m1 and m2, the force between these two bodies is given by the product of the two masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance separating those two bodies. The more distance they have, the less force will be felt between those two bodies. That means the farther apart those two bodies are, the less force will be experienced between the two bodies. This G is a universal constant. G is given as 6.67 times 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square. This is the constant G. It is a universal constant. Next, I would like to give you a question to solve on Newton's law. Thank you. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Please do well to like, subscribe, and don't forget to drop your questions under the comment section. Here we have a question that says, a force of 200 Newton acts between two objects at a certain distance apart. The value of the force when the distance is halved is question mark. So, how do we solve a question like this? The first thing you need to know is the formula itself, which says F is equal to G m1 m2 r squared. But you also have to remember that the force is directly proportional to product of the mass and inversely proportional to the square. Now, the only thing that changes here is the force and the distance separating the two masses. The masses themselves are constant. They don't change. The masses have fixed values, but the force and the distance separating the masses change. So we can just call it K for that sake. We can say F is directly proportional to K, where K represents the product of that constant because it does not change, over R squared. Then we can now cross multiply and see K is equal to F R squared. Now, since we know that this gives us a certain constant, we should know that whatever values changes for these two values, it should still give us the same constant. So this expression helps us to duplicate our formula, meaning we can have something like F1 R1 squared is equal to F2 R2 squared is equal to Fn Rn squared. Notice how we duplicated this formula. We created multiple formulas because they are all equal. When you multiply them, they would all give you a constant, K. Now, this expression helps us to solve this problem. The force is given us 200 Newton. The initial distance apart, we can call that R1 is equal to R. Then the final distance, which was the initial distance half, we can call that R2 equal to R divided by 2. Next, we can substitute in our values. Having F1, so we are looking for F2, basically. So F1, we already have that to be 200. R1, we have that to be given as just R, so R squared. F2 is what we are looking for, and R2 is R over 2 squared. So we have 200 R squared is equal to F R squared over 4. R squared cancelled R squared. We have 200 is equal to F over 4. Cross multiplying, F becomes 800 Newton. And this is the solution to this problem. Remember to drop your likes and ask your questions in the comment sections. I'll be happy to help. Thank you. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we would like to discuss about gravitational potential. So what is gravitational potential? Gravitational potential is the work done in moving a unit mass from a point of infinity to a particular point. Now, you can see the formula here that says the gravitational potential, denoted as V, is equal to minus the universal gravitational constant multiplied by the particular mass in question divided by the distance. Now, the reason why there is a negative sign in the formula is to indicate that as the mass is being moved from a point of infinity towards the Earth, the potential decreases. Hence, the negative sign in the formula. Next, I would like to give you a question that demonstrates gravitational potential and how to solve questions involving gravitational potential in Jamb. Thank you. So here we have a question that says, what is the gravitational potential at a point on the surface of the Earth if the gravitational constant is given as this, and the radius and mass of the Earth are this and this? So, recall our formula. Gravitational potential is equal to minus Gm over R. Now, when solving questions, we don't usually include the negative sign because the negative sign is always implied in the formula, but not always in the answer. So you can disregard the negative sign and just solve using the quantities being given. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. So, under the topic of gravitational fields, we would like to discuss about some important aspects of gravitational field. The first thing being conservative fields. So when we say conservative field, a conservative field is a region of space where work is done on a body and it is path independent. When we say path independent, it simply means it does not depend on the path being taken, in opposition to non-conservative fields that depends on the path being taken. So conservative fields, example of conservative fields are gravitational fields, electrostatic fields, and magnetic fields. An example of a field or a force that is a conservative force is a frictional force because it depends on the path being taken by the body or object. Another important concept to discuss about will be escape velocity. The escape velocity of a body or object is simply the minimum velocity required for the object to escape the Earth's gravitational pull or the Earth's atmosphere without falling back to the Earth. The escape velocity is given as this is the formula used to calculate the escape velocity of an object, oftentimes a spacecraft. The next thing we'll be discussing about is the distinction between mass and weight. Now, most often than not, people make the mistake of comparing or putting mass and weight as the same thing. Mass is quite distinct from weight. Mass is simply the quantity of matter a body possesses, whereas weight is the force of gravity acting on a body that keeps the body in place. Mass, again, is the quantity of matter a body possesses, and weight is simply the force of gravity acting on that body. Mass is a scalar quantity, and weight is a vector quantity. The weight of a body is given by the formula mass times acceleration due to gravity. The product of mass and acceleration due to gravity would give us weight, though they are quite related, but they are not the same thing. The last thing we'll discuss about is the variation of acceleration due to gravity on the Earth's surface. The acceleration due to gravity is not the same throughout or over the volume of the Earth. It varies on different regions. If you increase height or due to an increase in altitude, the acceleration due to gravity will decrease. If you go deeper into the Earth, the acceleration due to gravity will also decrease. The reason why this happens is because the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It is not a perfect sphere like we assume it to be. It is actually a geode or an irregularly shaped sphere. It bulges at the equator. Due to this fact, it causes the acceleration due to gravity to vary in different regions. Thank you. Here we have a question that says, what is the escape velocity of a satellite launched from the Earth's surface, given the constant acceleration due to gravity and the radius of the Earth? Solving this question, if you can recall, the escape velocity is given by the formula simply computing the values This is the escape velocity of the satellites launched from the Earth's surface. So this is how you calculate questions like this. Thank you.